Good morning, millennials.
Welcome back to The Toast and happy Thursday. That's right. Take a moment, close your eyes, breathe deep, breathe through, breathe out. You did it. You did it.
We did it. We all did it. Hello, church. Do you see my dress today?
I do see your dress today, and I'm so glad you brought it up first thing in the morning because we need to talk.
First and foremost, so a couple things happened this morning that do relate to my dress today. But I recorded a vlog yesterday for our Patreon channel. It went live today, so you can watch it right now. And it was a vlog a long time in the making because Shapiro, Olivia's husband, has really been wanting to take me to CostcO. I have not been to CostcO here yet. You know, they go, as they said in the vlog, every 10 days. It's very much a cornerstone of their family life. So he has been wanting to do this for so long, and we finally did it. So we did like a CostcO mukbang, shopping haul, fashion competition, so many different fun segments. It's literally hysterical. And if you've watched the vlog, I don't want to spoil anything, but you'll recognize this dress. It's Costco's finest. You can get it now at CostcO, and I'm loving it.
I don't want to spoil too much because for me, I had such a premium experience of going into the vlog knowing nothing. I really don't want to spoil. But there were a couple of moments that had me, I'll just say this, gooped and gagged, okay?
We ran into some CostcO celebrities.
That I already spoiled on my social media, so we can talk about that.
Yeah, that was so exciting for the group.
For me.
For Shapiro.
I just want to say, everybody in the vlog, talks about this content creator, who's famous at CostcO. And I was, upset that, not one person in the group acknowledged that I invented those TikTokers. I showed everyone those TikTokers.
I believe you, but I wouldn't know because I've not been a part of that group text where you send those videos around.
Well, I'm kind of at a place in my life where I'm really done sending you TikToks because you now are responding to me basically saying I need you to download the TikTok and text the video to me because you can no longer open and watch / view TikToks without having the app downloaded on your phone.
Right. So it used to be back in the day, you could send me a TikTok, I could watch on Safari, no big deal. Then they cracked down a little bit, and every few videos they would be download the app to watch. So every 1 out of 4 I wasn't watching due to that. Okay, I can work with those odds. Now I cannot watch one on my web browser, on my phone, without having the app. So sometimes if I'm on my computer and I'm doing text on my computer, I can watch them today on my computer still. But yeah, at this point in life, you really need to whittle down what you're sending me. And if I absolutely must see it and you want to ensure that, you have to download it.
And the thing is, TikTok thinks that by doing that, they're, punishing the people who don't have the app downloaded on their phone. But what they don't realize is they're actually punishing me, their users. Yeah. Because now I have to do extra work just to get Jackie to see a TikTok that is kind of funny.
It's so true. And it's not moving me to download the app or want to download the app. If anything, it's making me feel, because now I watch less TikToks. I'm like, oh, TikTok, goodbye, good riddance. It's not top of mind.
It's greedy.
It is, but I do feel like most of the people in my life, especially I feel like snitch, when I say download and send, they do download and send.
Snitch is kind of it's such a younger sister thing. That's literally her job. If we're in a group chat and somebody sends a TikTok and Jackie's like, please download it for me. Nobody moves,
please.
Because they know Margot's going to do it.
Yeah, Margot does it. So thank you, Satchel.
Yeah. So head to patreon.com/thetoast for the premium viewing experience. I did my hair, gave myself a blowout, did my makeup. If I look exceptionally gorgeous today, which is definitely in the realm of possibility, I can't really say that. I feel like you can if you wanted to. It's because I sat extra long at my makeup table. I gave a little, and I was in a good mood because I was giggling, watching the vlog, and I wanted to, the vlog is 44 minutes. So I kind of did my hair and makeup for 44 minutes, which on a Thursday, I'm not always going to do. And so if I happen to look exceptionally gorgeous, pause for interruption.
Which you do.
Then that would be why.
Right. Well, life hack, it's 44 minutes. That's kind of the length of a workout. Maybe watch the vlog on the treadmill. It'll go by in a flash.
Or that's also it depends, I think, how old your children are, but the length of a nice nap. You're getting some time for yourself while your kids are asleep.
Nice. I do hope the nap is longer than 45 minutes, though.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know much.
A 45-minute nap is what we would consider a short nap, depending on how old. But past newborn age, 45 minutes. We're hoping for an hour.
Damn.
Plus.
us.
But, run your own race. Run your own race.
So if Jackie's looking particularly gorgeous, it's because she bought a dress at Costco. If I'm looking particularly gorgeous, it's because this morning while getting ready, I watched Jackie buying a dress at Costco.
But it's not just about me buying a dress at Costco. You guys would be really shocked to know the genesis, which for the genesis, head to patreon.com/thetoast.
Other than that, what's to do with you? What's going on this gorgeous Thursday morning?
Gorgeous Thursday. Made 2 gorgeous loaves of bread last night. I'm really practicing. I feel like I'm training for our summer because I'm like going to be sharing my breads with a lot of people.
You're going to have to sort of up the supply because demand is going up.
I know. And yesterday was the first time I did like 2 loaves in one bowl, and it was totally great. And I just know like Ben's going to put me to work in the Hamptons. So like I need to be show ready.
And speaking of,
our sandwich shop.
Yeah, I was laying in bed with Ben last night, and he was like scrolling through Instagram, and he came across one of our clips. And it's so funny, whenever like I hear him in the other room, I hear him skip past our clips, but if he's laying right next to me, like he has to watch it because it's so rude. And I was glad that he watched it because he needed to hear it, and he like is so excited. And I do want to say something. And I do want to open the sandwich shop, but I feel like sometimes on this show, like we'll talk about like a potential business idea or something we would want to do one day, and the comments are just like begging for it. I didn't really feel like people were like dying for a sale. Like I didn't get that like sort of reception from everyone.
Oh, I didn't not get that. I feel like first of all, and we haven't even sat down. Like I said, we haven't even had a brainstorm about ideas. Like this morning I had made like an everything but the bagel seasoning loaf last night, and I was thinking about like what sandwich would it be. So it would be that bread with like cream cheese lox, tomato onion, and it would be called not to make everything about me sandwich. Like everything just writes itself, plus the fact we're the toast,
of course,
and it's a sandwich shop. But I do think like, yes, it would be for the toasters, but we also have to be thinking more broadly. So it's not like every toaster needs to be like obsessed with it, because it's for the nation.
Yeah, right. No, that's true. It's for the community.
Yeah. But I do think it would be such a fun project. I don't think we're in that stage of our lives right now to take on something like that.
We need to live in the same place.
Of course. But also like we have a lot going on right now. I feel like that's maybe something when we talk about in our later years, how we want to spend our days, gardening. I think a sandwich shop, like literally like it's complicated.
It would need to be a sandwich shop / bookstore.
Great. I mean, you don't have to ask me twice.
Yeah.
Great. So I think we can spend the next few years like ruminating on our ideas, so that way when the time comes, it's ready.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great idea. And I'm very curious to know from Ben, like why all the hype for QSRs? Like maybe we should be making it today, just saying.
It's just like I think Ben has gleaned from, life that like that's like the current hot way of making money. Like all the investors are going QSR.
But why? I would think the restaurant business is just a money pit.
Well, when you think of a restaurant business, you think of like a sit-down dining experience. QSR stands for quick serve restaurants. Basically like Chipotle, Cava, like those types of restaurants are so popular, and not fast food. It's like, but somewhere, I think QSR is somewhere between fast food and like a sit-down restaurant.
But what are they saving costs on that a sit-down restaurant money pit is spending on and losing all their money on? These are questions for Ben.
Well, like a whole kitchen full of chefs, like in a actually, I don't know.
No, I hear you. I'm gonna probe Ben.
Yeah.
See if it really stands up, the idea.
The impending arrival of you is so exciting. There's just sort of like a sparkle in the air here in New York. Jax is coming to town for our live shows. Kind of first ever. It's not fair to say first ever, because like a million years ago we did one live show at Caroline's on Broadway, maybe 2 in one night. I forget.
Or 2 in 2 nights, yeah. Or 2 in 1 night. That's crazy.
So we've done it like in a technical sense, but I don't know. I'm just like not including that because it's like this is our first live show ever.
Yeah. We've been on a stage together before, but not like this. And I think it's just better to say it's our first. Just like with the CostcO vlog yesterday, I did have to caveat like one time when I was 12, I walked into a CostcO, but like for brevity's sake, it's the first time. Okay, so just so I know we're so authentic, but going forward, we'll be calling things the first time, even if there is a small exclusion.
Because it actually does feel like the first time.
It feels like the first time. Oh, Claudia, I found our loophole. It's the first Toast live show.
No.
Because last time it was the morning Toast.
Oh. Well, then if we also want
our loophole.
Jackie, if we want to be really authentic too,
we did the breath.
We did a couple of breath live shows.
Those were true live shows, more so than Caroline's, I feel like.
Yeah.
First Toast live show. It covers all bases. We've never done a live show as the Toast, period.
So that's June 27th and 28th at the Beacon Theater. As we discussed yesterday, we randomly stumbled upon like a couple extra tickets. We don't want to get into the reasoning. If you heard yesterday,
it's like sad. It's a sad state.
The toastpodcast.com/tour. There are all the dates there. There's 4 dates in New York City at the Beacon Theater. And then there's, I think, 5 dates at the West Hampton Beach Performing Arts Center. So Long Island, New York, tri-state area girlies, come see us. It's basically the Swirlies night out. Like the Swirlies are putting on their finest / their Toast merch. And they're coming to the theater for a gorgeous night.
Yes, and I also want to say it's actually not such a sad state that we have so many tickets that friends and family didn't claim when we thought we would have 100 friends and family like all clamoring for free tickets.
400,
okay. It's not sad. You want to know why? Because those people actually bought tickets and they wanted to support us and they weren't just like waiting for a free ride. Like we have friends and family who truly support our work.
That's a really nice
and
way of
they're
looking
patrons of the arts.
Shannon Ford buying front row tickets in West Hampton Beach. I'm like, stop buying tickets. Shannon Ford was front row at Madison Square Garden when I did my show there too. I'm like, girl, I'll literally give you a ticket. Like I have 400 to spare.
She feels very principled that she needs to support her friends and put her money where her mouth is.
No, it's really sweet, like setting an alarm.
Like she won't take a free ticket.
That's insane because when I went to her show, I took 2 free ones.
Yeah, so our friends and family just want to support us so much. Nobody wanted to take free ones.
That's so sweet.
They just love us so much.
And so that means we have a couple of tickets from our tour available, which is fabulous if you weren't able to get one. They did go kind of quick. Thetoastpodcast.com/tour. So lots of big things coming up in the next couple of weeks for your girls. But, even though we have sold out the Beacon Theater 4 times in a row, we're still us. We're still just going to do our thing. Don't think like, oh my God, they're getting too big for their britches. Like, don't worry about us. One thing about us, we remain grounded.
We stay humble, and if not, like something will humble us.
For sure.
Oh,
I know. I know.
Like the speaker will die, but our spirit won't.
On my way home from the studio yesterday, I was just walking, and I happened to like see 2 people separately on like different blocks, like eat shit, and like in a really embarrassing way. And I felt so bad for them. Like my first feeling was obviously sadness and empathy. But my second feeling was like, thank God that wasn't me. Like I felt like guilty because I did like giggle a little bit, but they didn't see. And then I felt this overwhelming sense of like appreciation and gratefulness that wasn't me, like rolling my ankle in a wedge. The other person like fell off their skateboard. It was really, it was traumatizing. And I was so happy that it wasn't me.
I'm glad too. But I do also think that like reflex giggle isn't necessarily like a laughing at someone all the time. It's sometimes like when things are like awkward or embarrassing, it's like it's not like ha 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 loser.
Yeah, no, that's true. I like that.
I feel like sometimes I find myself doing that. I'm like, I didn't find that funny. I just like felt awkward. And a lot of times when you feel awkward, like you giggle to break the tension. So it's like a reflex, and it's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like.
Okay,
loser.
Na 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 poo poo. Unless it's your sister who rolls her ankle, and then it's mean-spirited.
I wouldn't. A rolled ankle on a sister, like I truly would feel so bad.
No,
Claudia, don't laugh. Your karma.
I know.
It will be bad.
You know what? I don't want to jinx anything.
Don't say anything. What you're going to say? I don't even know what you're going to say. But
I haven't fallen in a while.
I don't like the smell of it.
I haven't fallen in a while, and you guys know that like falling used to be a like weekly occurrence.
A core tenant.
In a really embarrassing way, like the worst possible fall you could think of. You're in the same room as Mary-Kate or Ashley Olsen. I'm not sure which one it was. Boom.
Have you been drinking less? I feel like you've not been super drunk a lot recently.
I've had such an interesting experience with alcohol because when I was on Ozempic, you can't really drink as much. And I also didn't want to. I was like making so much progress that like it was setting me back. And I was like, you know, I'm going to be on this drug for X amount of time. Let me like make the most of it. So I definitely stopped drinking as much. Also, like my body, I was getting nauseous. So I just like wasn't physically able to. And then when I got off of it, I was like, okay, I'm going to miss Ozempic so much. But like an upside is like I can start drinking again. And then I think I went like a little hard. And I was like, you know what? Let me pause. So, and also, I think like earlier in the year, I was definitely on my hustle. Like when I'm in my hustle era, I really don't drink.
No.
Now it's the summer. Like, girl, you can't stop me from having a cocktail.
I mean, al fresco cocktail.
I'm having one this evening with the Streckers, you know?
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, just a couple of girlies. And it's also like, I actually have...
Are they the Streckers?
When I said it, it sounded wrong. They're the Taylors.
The Taylors, yeah. But what last name, if they like have a family name?
That's a good question, what they're going to do when they have kids. Let me just ask them.
It's kind of like a big question. Maybe text just one of them. Maybe it's something that they haven't like talked about yet.
The thing is, I have to ask both of them because only one of them is on their phone. Like Taylor Strecker's never on her phone. So if I ever want to get to her, I have to call Taylor Donahue.
Okay.
When you guys have kids, which last name are you going to use? Oh, when you guys have kids, what last name are you going to use? ?
I have so many thoughts on this, like so many recommendations. Like first, they could be like the Stronahus, which I love that. I love that. They could be the Taylors, like where their last name is Taylor.
They could be the Deckers. Donahue Strecker.
Yes.
And if they are the Taylors, which is cute, like I like when people do that, but then their names are Taylor.
No, their names are not Taylor. It's just like we're Taylor, Strecker, Taylor, Donahue, and our kids are, you know, Emily Taylor and John Taylor, and deal with it.
I mean, I love that. I'm so jealous of, and I only recently realized that that's what it was in Sex and the City, that when Miranda decided to give their kid the last name Hobbs, even though her and Steve like weren't even together, they gave his first name Brady, which is Miranda's last name. Wait, no, sorry, which is Steve's last name. Steve Brady and Miranda Hobbs. So they gave him the last name Hobbs, but first name Brady.
Oh, I didn't realize. I knew that there was that in there, but I didn't realize it was her last name.
Her last name, because they weren't together.
Family
Miranda's
name.
an independent woman, like, and then they incorporated. And Shannon has said that she's not going to do it, but for a while she wanted to name one of her kids Ford because she's going to take her husband's last name. So she's Shannon Middleton now, and Ford is her last name, her maiden name.
That's like my favorite toddler influencer, Gates Gottschalk. Raven Gates.
Oh my God. I didn't put that together.
Really?
By the way, your favorite child influencer? I'm not even a mother. I'm fucking obsessed with Raven Gates' son Gates. Like, first of all, nobody works harder like than getting premium content of her son. And she's not like annoying, like shoving the phone kids in the face, like, say this. He's just like playing, and she'll like sneakily record. He has such a big personality, and he's, in a physical sense, the biggest kid. Like, he's gonna be a linebacker. He is so funny. Whenever her stories come on, my volume is up, my headphones are in, the show is about to begin. I'm obsessed with this kid.
Obsessed.
And he, of course, reminds me so much of our great Harry, because they're like the same age, and you and Raven were pregnant for the first time at the same time.
And our kids are, our kids are the exact same amount of time apart. And
I didn't realize that his name being Gates is her maiden name. Mm-hmm. So I just wish our last name was like a name.
Well, you can make it a name. Like if you just said it's Oshry. Deal with it. A name. It's just very last namey. Like it ends in a Y. It's just giving last name.
So if you are a woman who's like sad about losing her last name, but happens to have a last name that could be a first name, just know I'm so jealous of you.
In all this time, have the Taylors responded?
There's zero chance, like seriously.
To our query?
They have. Probably Donahue Strecker off the bat, but then we'll pick one. Jackie thinks it should be, what was it?
Either
Decker,
Stronahue, Decker, or Taylor.
I let them know that you thought that.
And say, I know it's unconventional, but it makes a lot of sense. You're the Taylors. Say that.
I know it's unconventional, but it makes a lot of sense, dash. You're the Taylors, exclamation point.
Make sure everything's spelled right for...
Of course, they spell Taylor with an I.
Of course.
Like some seamstress.
That makes more sense. You're the Taylors.
Yeah, literally. I'm so glad we figured that out.
Yeah. Okay, great.
What was I saying?
I'm glad to know, like, there's still time for me to weigh in. You know, it's not case closed.
No, it's not case closed. It seems like they're open to all ideas.
Recommendations.
So I appreciate that.
Me too. And now what?
I don't know. How did we get here?
Back to the conversation pre-tailors, back to Gates. Which way do we want to go?
To names.
Of tailors. The Streckers. You're going to drinks with them. You've been drinking less. You haven't fallen.
But it's summer now. Oh, I haven't fallen. Yes. Oh my God. Good job. I haven't fallen in a while. I don't want to jinx it. But I think a lot of it had to do with my weight, and not in like a balance sense. When I was heavier, I really felt the need always to wear big platform shoes. They just made me feel like taller. I felt like it was like an illusion of sorts. Like it slimmed me. And pretty much all the shoes, like boots, all my heeled shoes at that point in my life were platforms. I wouldn't buy. I also like found them to be too uncomfortable. So I think that the platforms were working against me because it's very easy to roll your ankle in a platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more likely. And I don't really wear big chunky platforms anymore. So I've been expanding, as you know, my style is changing. So I think that perhaps that has something to do with the lack of falling. But look, I'm definitely going to fall tonight. Like, it's just because I said it.
Yeah. Well, you know, kitten heel, she's always there for you.
I just bought a pair of kitten heels. I forgot to actually take a picture of them and send them to you. I wasn't sure if you were going to like them.
I love kitten heels. Well, as long as the heel, well, it depends most of the time, but typically like with a wider heel, not like a
no, it's like a skinny.
But now I think of shoes that have this, and I actually do like them. All my shoes are kitten heels. All my heels are kitten heels. I haven't bought like a real heel in forever, and I'm so pro kitten heel. They get a really bad rap.
You know what else gets a bad rap? Not only kitten heels, but Michael Kors. And I was shopping, and I picked up these pair of shoes. They were so cute. They were Michael Kors. And I bought them. Okay, I bought them.
Okay, can't wait to see a pic.
Yeah, I actually think you're going to like them.
That's kind of rude.
No, I didn't, because I was just like, they're kind of crazy. They're kind of crazy, these shoes that I bought.
Do you have a picture on your phone?
Fun.
Like, who buys something without taking a picture?
Like, I actually think I did.
Take a picture?
No, I did buy something without taking a picture.
Okay. You'll just have to show me later.
Yeah. IRL, perhaps.
Ooh, now we can say that. Are you going to bring them for our big swirly summer?
Yeah, no, they're so summery. Like, they're so...
And I got you those cute summery heels.
Exactly. No, we're going to be, like, truly killing it in the Hamptons this summer. Like,
and we can share clothes.
Don't come looking for us.
We haven't been able to share clothes at all, like, ever.
I know. We're really the same size right now. Wait, this is what Taylor Donahue said, just to wrap this up. That's what Strecker wants, one of, like, our hybrid name ideas. But she said we'd also change our last name to Taylor and first names to Donahue and Strecker. And I'm out on that idea.
Oh, see, that's confusing.
That's dumb.
That's confusing. I don't know if you want to say dumb.
No, I feel like I could talk to them straight. Okay, I'll add an I'm sorry. Okay, that's dumb. I'm sorry.
I just say that's a little confusing.
Well, you're a nicer woman than I. Like, I'm a big bitch. Everybody knows that about me. Like, whatever.
Big bitch.
How are the stories today?
Samantha, the dirty big bitch in my bunk, gave the counselor me lice.
Oh my God. Iconic.
Samantha, the dirty big bitch in my bunk, gave the counselor and me lice. Can you do your anagram?
Oh my God. No, I can't. I cannot believe you just said that. Samantha, the big dirty big bitch in my bunk,
gave the counselor and me lice.
Oh my God.
Oh no, you like live in those.
And another thing I haven't had in a while, in addition is to taking a tumble, is lice.
Well,
lice
about to come back around on the circle. Yeah, with when you have kids. Like, I don't think you get lice as dink or ink or sink.
Yeah.
Or U-ink.
But definitely lice is in your future, you think?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Those were really like dark summers for us. We had lice all the time.
Yeah. And
and
really is from Samantha, the dirty big bitch in her bunk.
I cannot stand the smell of olive oil because of lice. If you know, you know.
I've gotten over that.
No, like I run from olive oil.
I run from pain. I can't hit those notes.
Shall we dive in?
We shall. Without further ado, about Samantha, the dirty big bitch in my bunk who gave the counselor me lice, It is time for the fast life stories that you need to know.
Today's episode is brought to you by Fashion Pass. Fashion Pass was actually started by a toaster, so it's essentially a toaster-run business, which we absolutely love to see. We have been Fashion Pass girlies for many years, and in case you don't remember, it's the clothing rental service that actually has cute clothes. I just got 2 pieces from Fashion Pass, and let me just tell you, supreme. A very cute Show Me Your Moo pool cover-up. It's like knitted and very colorful. Everybody, like, Show Me Your Moo always slays. And what was the other piece I got? I can't remember. Oh my, this absolutely stunning like corset. I'm kind of in my corset era. So I have so many pieces that I've gotten from Fashion Pass. So when you're using Fashion Pass as a clothing rental service, you actually also have the ability to shop from them directly, which is just a more sustainable way of shopping. And it's also more affordable because you're going to get a discount on it. They have the best clothes. Like, obviously clothing rental we know is fabulous. It makes sense for your closet, for your wallet, for everything. But the problem with all these services is like everything is fugly. Like big ugly tunics with ugly patterns. It's giving grandma. And that's why Fashion Pass is different. Like they carry brands like that are sold on Revolve. They have items that aren't 100 years old that are currently being sold at Saks. And it's just so economical. We're on the trendsetter plan. It's basically getting you covered for vacation, weddings, bachelorettes, anything bridal. Because you know, you have a dress that you spend a lot of money on, you wear it to your friend's wedding, you take a million pictures, like you're not gonna wear it again. It's so stupid, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of space in your closet. And they just make it so easy too. The shipping is super fast. They take care of dry cleaning, everything. And we have a discount for you guys. For the next week, our code TOAST will get you $50 off your first month of Fashion Pass, so you can try it for just $75. Run and sign up now. If you go to fashionpass.com, use code TOAST at checkout, you'll get $50 off your first month. It's the best deal you're going to get, and it's only for the next week. Today's episode is also brought to you by Honeylove, and my summer is also brought to you by Honeylove because I just bought something new from Honeylove. As you guys know, Honeylove is a company that has sponsored the Toast for a while. I've been a customer for many years. They make amazing shapewear, amazing bras, pretty much anything you can need in a bra or a shapewear company. They're smoothing, they're sculpting, they're comfortable. Comfort is like their priority. But I just got something from Honeylove that I haven't gotten before. I don't even know what to call it really, and I didn't even know that they had it, but I was searching and Honeylove came up first in my Google search results because I have so many dresses to wear this summer, and like there's this line on my stomach for my fupa that bothers me so much, and I'm like always like holding my hands in front of my stomach, and they make this, it's like a corset kind of, and it has boning in it. It had the most amazing reviews. I got it. I've tried it on. Let me tell you, the line is gone. It is so smooth. It is so finished. It is so like sculpting. Gives me a nice waist. I love Honeylove. As you know, they've really revolutionized the bra game. So you can say goodbye to underwire without sacrificing your lift. Their bras feature supportive bonding that eliminates the need for uncomfortable wires, and they carry a wide range of sizes. They cater to the diverse needs of all women. For a limited time only, you can get Honeylove on sale. Get 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link, honeylove.com/toast. Support our show. Check them out at honeylove.com/toast. They are empowering women, so treat yourself to the best bras on the market, and save 20% at honeylove.com/toast. That's honeylove.com/toast. Probably my favorite place to use our code. I just used it the other day. Today's episode is also brought to you by GNC. GLP-1 medications are taking the world by storm, helping many people transform their lives through weight loss, myself included. But all the possible side effects can be a major obstacle for success, and that's why GNC is here to help for the journey, offering high-quality nutritional solutions and lifestyle advice to help people through those issues and reach their weight loss goals. So if you're considering a GLP-1 medication for weight loss, you should know some of the most common side effects and how to combat them. Nausea is one of the most reported side effects, usually coming in at your first dose of medication. Thankfully, there's a great natural solution for this, which is ginger. You guys know we've been going and shopping at GNC to help with hunger and snacks, but for the girlies out there with nausea, whether it's GLP-1 induced or just, you're a nauseous girly, they have some ginger products that can really help you out. They have fun, all-natural ginger chews and Prince from the brand called Prince of Peace. They're poppable and sweet with only 4 ingredients or 5 if you want their lemon or mango ginger chews. So those are a great option, but like I said, they're sweet, and if you don't want that, you can get the ginger root itself as a GNC supplement. Just take a capsule with some water. I feel like Jackie's more of a ginger root, where I'm more as like the ginger chew,
100%. I'm a ginger swirly, like obviously, but also I'm a nauseous girl at heart, and I love anything ginger, and I'm getting those.
She's a ginger who loves ginger. Find the high-quality gut health supplements that you need at GNC. Plus, get 25% off hunger-satisfying snacks from GNC Total Lean when you use our code TOAST25 at gnc.com/toast. That's TOAST25 at gnc.com/toast.
Thank you, La.
You're welcome.
Our first story, the big news of the morning, some more celebrities arrested news, CAN. Travis Scott was arrested in Florida on charges of disorderly intoxication and trespassing after a yacht argument.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
So he was arrested early this morning in Miami-Dade County, Florida at 4:30 a.m. local time on charges of disorderly intoxication and trespassing on a property after a warning. Both came with a bond that totaled at $650, $150 for the intoxication charges and $500 for the other. Records show the bond had been submitted as of Thursday. Reps for the Miami Beach PD tell people that Scott was arrested at approximately 1:44 a.m. following an incident at the Miami Beach Arena located at 300 Alton Road. Authorities had been called to the incident on complaints of fighting on a yacht. Officers wrote in an arrest affidavit obtained by People. Upon arrival, they found Scott yelling at the vessel occupants. Officers made contact with him to conduct an investigation. The defendant was asked by officers to sit down, at which point he temporarily sat down and then began continuously standing back up, disregarding officers' commands. Throughout the interaction, officers on the scene could sense a strong smell of alcohol coming from his breath. Though the complaint did not want to press charges, they did request Scott to leave the vessel. He was then told to leave the dock or he would be arrested.
So was he arrested?
Yes.
So funny. Well, not funny, but like when you said Travis, I hadn't heard this yet. So when you said a celebrity has been arrested, it's Travis Scott. It's funny how it takes me like 4 seconds to compute because there are so many like people with the same name. Travis Scott, Scott Disick, Travis Barker, like
Travis Barker, Scott Disick, Travis. Yeah, they all have the same name.
So it just takes me like a second to remember who we're talking about.
Yeah. It's funny that his last name is a first name, like the Taylors.
Exactly.
Like the Taylors' children.
If they had another... Well, that's not his real last name, right? It's Webster. If they had
and his real first name is Jock?
Right. But if they had another baby together, it could have been like Scott Webster or something. Even though Scott's like too regular and they have a Scott in their family.
Right and right.
Travis Scott is really not someone I like die for or stan, obviously. I know a lot of people moved on from Astroworld. Like personally, I really never did. Like I don't know if that's something I'll ever get over. It's one of the craziest things that's happened like in culture and honestly like in my lifetime. And it's such a tragedy and it's so upsetting like when you get details about it. And I just feel like everybody kind of moved on from it. Personally, like I stayed there, dust collecting round my pinned up hair.
I think for most people that is the case, and I actually think a lot of the things that he does, good, bad, or otherwise, don't really make news because people have kind of, aside from his super fans, even though his super fans are the ones who got hurt, but people have kind of checked out from him.
No, the thing is, a while after Astroworld, I went to see Dave Chappelle at Madison Square Garden, and he had all these guests come out, and he brought out Travis Scott, and like people were like literally screaming at the top of their lungs like Taylor Swift had come. I was like, oh, we're back. I was like, it was interesting, observation I made.
I think it's weird because I think that the people who always like loved him still love him as much. And I also think when you love someone, like you see the best in him and you could see a scenario where you could say that wasn't his fault and he wasn't responsible, you know? And then I think the people who were never like the biggest fans to begin with were just like, that was irresponsible. Like, this is a celebrity I'm going to unsubscribe from because there are so many and you don't need to keep up with all of them.
Right. So it just seems like he's on a destructive path and you hate to see that.
Yeah. So then when they said like, get off or we're going to arrest you, like then he was walking down the boardwalk but kept walking back and yelling. And so then they took him in.
Like starting stuff.
Yeah, he was starting stuff. A stuff starter. That should be a cause for arrest. Starting stuff.
Yeah, someone who's starting stuff. Well,
I think that there is.
Police, it's right here.
Arrest this woman.
No, it's just like isn't a person whom I follow. Really before Astroworld, like I've never been like a crazy huge fan. Obviously he came into my life, like my orbit via Kylie.
Yeah.
And of course, Stormaloo.
And Air.
And in the words of Justin Timberlake, this is going to ruin the tour.
And Wolf.
Wolf Webster was an amazing name.
It was an amazing name, and it is an amazing name. And I understand that, like, sometimes you have a baby and he's not a wolf, like, and so you have to recalibrate. But, like, I'm still at Wolf Webster.
And I think it's a better name. Like, not knowing the baby, just like aesthetically and, linguistically, I think it's a better name than Air.
It all depends on the baby, though. And I think Wolf, like, you've got to back that up. Yeah. It's not just something like you can name willy-nilly. So I appreciate, that's like one of my favorite things ever. And one of my favorite things about Kylie, like her being like, oops, never mind, I changed my mind. And her being like, it's Wolf Webster, that's our baby. And then like a few days later, I've been seeing Wolf everywhere. And I just want to let you guys know that that's not our baby's name. It's like You told us
You told it to us.
No, I love her.
If that's one of your favorite things, one of my favorite things is when you gave birth and everybody was like so waiting with anticipation, like what is Jackie gonna name her kid? Jackie made an Instagram story in the same exact like color, font, everything as when Kylie just wrote Wolf Webster and Jackie wrote Wolf Weinreb Blue Heart.
Did I post that or was that?
Yes.
Oh, well, love.
And then you were like, just kidding.
I didn't know if I posted it or I just like sent it in the family and we laughed about it.
No. I think you posted it publicly and it was so like just iconic things Jackie's done. That
hysterical. No, and also we gave birth like around the same time. So I was just like really like plugged into what she was doing. And before I gave birth, I'm like, Wolf Weinreb. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you didn't not think about it. Like Kylie definitely put the name and it was in your rotation, like, consideration.
It was my number 2 because I didn't have a number 2. So like it was my backup name, yeah.
The thing, was it your first or second child?
Harry, my first.
Oh, okay. Because like if you have a Harry, you can't then have a Wolf.
Right. No, I never thought of Charlie
Wolf
for
again.
Charlie. No. Just it was a moment in time.
Yeah, it was just kind of like this postpartum haze. Like she wasn't thinking straight.
No, but looking back, I was crystal clear.
Crystal. Well, wishing Travis Scott, a better day.
Yeah, agreed. Are you ready for our next story?
Yes.
Travis Kelce is...
So many Travises.
There's so many Travises. So much Travis Kelce news, because that's what happens when you have a podcast and you just talk all the time. Like, everything is a headline. But this one resonated with me personally. So he's responding to the typo on the Chiefs Super Bowl ring.
Yes, it said, I think, chefs, right?
Chefs?
Kansas City chefs?
Oh, no, that's not what I saw. So...
Oh.
This is what he said.
I gotta stop falling for AI-generated content.
Like, that is so funny. This is what I read. The rings were engraved on the inside. They put like the seeds, seeds of the other teams in the conferences.
Yeah, like the list of winners.
So inside the ring, the Miami Dolphins, who beat the Chiefs 26-7 in the wild card round, were listed as the AFC's 7th seed with the words MIA parentheses 7, but the Dolphins were the number 6 seed and the Chiefs were the 3rd seed. So that's the mistake, like this little seed thing. And this is what Travis had to say about the matter. He said, I don't give a fuck. He said, because Jason was like, Miami was actually the 6th seed. I guess that's just the way the ring is. Are you going to get it fixed? He said, I don't give a fuck. No, I like it. We didn't give a fuck about what seed Miami was. Who cares? They could have done no seeds on the side of them and I would have been fine. Like, oh yeah, we made it really detailed and oops, we screwed up. Just makes it more exclusive. We screwed up about something that means nothing.
Yeah, no, like the ring is not about Miami. Like, who gives a fuck? I didn't even know that there was anything on those rings besides like winner.
Yeah, I guess
winner, chicken dinner.
The run up to the Super Bowl was engraved on the inside. I think this is a great mentality, and I like the idea like when you screw up about something that means nothing. Like, yeah.
However, not to be like a Karen. And by the way, these rings aren't free. Like, you as a player pay for them. So
they're $40,000.
What in the world is wrong with you? Like, how does a mistake like this happen? It's actually unforgivable.
I agree. I would not be so cool about it. It's $40,000. It's a moment in time. Like, it should be accurate.
They should get, if people want it updated and to reflect the actual standings, it should be done for free. But then you do make this, like the flawed ones in 15 years will probably be worth more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just it's a mistake that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it's like you had one job.
Whose fault is this?
The person who wrote it down and gave it to the engraver, not the engraver, unless the person who wrote it down wrote it right and the engraver did it wrong. And maybe they won't get the next gig, and this is probably a big job for them. Yeah. But the person who wrote it down gave to the engraver is who I'm looking at. And will there be accountability even? Will there be?
Right. Is there going to be an investigation?
Is anybody looking into this?
Taylor is on her way to London for like probably one of the biggest like parts of her tour in terms of numbers. London is obviously like
significance.
Taylor's
They have their own songs.
Many. And a lot of people are wondering if Travis is going to go. And then the Mahomeses put up a picture of Brittany Mahomes put up a picture of Patrick and the 2 kids being like 6.5 hour flight and nobody took a nap, like crying face. And everyone was like, oh, 6.5 hours to get from Kansas City to London on a private jet is about that amount of time.
Is it?
Well, I know from New York to London, it's like 5 or 6.
It is?
It's like LA, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So perhaps everybody's going to be showing up to Wembley.
Oh, I would love that. Wembley is so iconic. Doesn't just make you think of Bohemian Rhapsody.
No. What does Wembley Stadium make me think of? I feel like it makes me think of Spice World, the movie.
Love that too.
Now, if Travis does show up and Taylor is out here like for her surprise song singing like London Boy, like she can't. You know I love a London Boy.
I think she can, and then maybe she'll like change one lyric in the bridge or something that like is a nod to her man's.
We have a lyric change in our future, I think, definitely. If Travis shows up. I think just in general.
She has to sing London Boy. And that's just a cute song. Like I'm sure there are girls in the crowd who are with their London boys and we all want to sing how we love our London Boy.
No, totally. It's not just
not everything has to be like so deep in like and resonate with who she is at this current juncture.
Also, So Long London, which I don't think is in the TTPD set, is definitely up for grabs.
I love So Long London. So long.
Agreed.
So it's so, to me, it's like so, that part in the beginning, it's like so Queen Elizabeth coded.
Yes, and it's so different. Like, nobody makes music like that.
Yeah, and then how does the chorus go?
So long
London. And of course, I love the double entendre, which it's like these days, if your song doesn't have a double entendre, like, what are you, stupid? Can you even
100%.
write? Where it's like
100%.
So long, like goodbye, so long, farewell. I've here to say adieu, adieu, adieu to you and and I didn't like yeah. And then also, it's like, I loved you for so long, London.
Now, who started that trope?
Luke Combs?
No. You're not far off, though. Like, the first person in recent memory who, like, made the double
turned it on
entendre.
his head.
You can have your space, cowboy. Because it was space cowboy and then also space, comma, cowboy.
Commas are a major key.
In my life, at least.
Anyways, all's to say, Travis Kelce doesn't give a rip about his ring.
And all's to say, there's, like, tune into Monday's episode. There's going to be a million stories from this weekend. I just know, like, Taylor has so many friends in London. Like, the VIP tent is going to be popping. There are so many shows. She's going to be breaking records with attendance. Like, I think Travis is going to be there. There's so much London lore with Joe.
London lore.
So I bet Joe Alwyn is taking a vacation this weekend.
Do you think Kate Middleton will be there with Charlotte?
That's actually an incredible question. Because the royals don't not go to concerts.
No, and if they were to go, like, they would go to Tailored. She's
like a family-friendly show.
Yeah.
Also, William and Taylor, like, are friendly. There's like that iconic night where they sang with Bon Jovi. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
I love that.
In like a suite. And I saw on TikTok, there are a couple like pretty verified rumors that Kate Middleton has been receiving her cancer treatments in Houston. Did you know that? Apparently, like, the world's leading cancer research center and like facility is in Houston.
I didn't know that.
And she has been spotted, or like royal like caravans have been spotted in Texas in Houston last couple of weeks.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are you ready for our third?
Love to see America out here, like, with the most premium shit, you know? It's like, oh, you need us now? Okay, cool.
Cool. Happy to help.
1000%. That's what we're here for.
Are you ready for our third story? A little more football player news.
Okay.
JJ Watt is crying in the gym. Did you see this?
He's down bad crying at the gym?
He's down good crying at the gym. So JJ Watt took to social media yesterday to talk about Luke Combs' new album. And he said, put on Luke's new album, Fathers and Sons, during workout today. Not even halfway through the warm-up, full-blown waterworks. Wishing my grandpa got to meet Koa, trying to savor every moment, thinking about my dad. Hits you straight in the heart. Thanks for making me cry, at Luke Combs.
Oh my God.
And then Luke reposted that story.
JJ Watt and I have literally the same exact taste in music. Like, he loves Luke Combs and Taylor Swift. I love JJ Watt, and the way I've never seen him play football, like, everything I love about him has been after what most would consider like the most successful times in his career.
I think he still plays, Claudia.
No,
I think he does. Like JJ Watt.
No, he's definitely retired, Jackie, like 1000%, I think.
Hold on. You might be right. Yeah. Wait. He's 35. Hold on. He retired in 2023. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So long,
JJ
had a good run.
Like, I know nothing about his football career. I don't know where he played. I feel like
Texans.
He wasn't in Pitch Perfect with the Green Bay Packers?
That
like
was
what I think of him.
A Packer.
It was a couple.
Yeah, it was the one with the long hair. He doesn't have... Clay. Who's that?
Long hair Mulligan from
Pitch Perfect Packers players.
Yeah, Clay Matthews,
TJ Lang, sounds like JJ, David Bakhtiari, Josh Sitton, Don Barclay.
That's probably like one of the strangest crossovers in cinematic history. Like, why?
Why not?
Why? No, but why were the Green Bay Packers in Pitch Perfect?
Why not?
Yeah, I like my question better. Like, I'm actually asking why.
Do you want me to look into it?
No, if anybody has like any fun facts that they know of, like feel free to sound off in the comments.
Like Clay was dating Anna Kendrick, something like that.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Right. Was Clay dating Anna Kendrick?
Sound off in the comments. No, JJ Watt, I believe, was on the Texans because also when the Houston flooded Houston, he was a hometown hero.
He became like a celebrity because he was such a big local celebrity and like a good football player.
And a philanthropist and a big personality, and now he does sports casting.
And he has a bunch of brothers. People love siblings. Clearly. People, he has brothers who also play.
Yeah. That's
and
always
I think their names
good.
are like AJ and RJ.
Yeah. It's like the Kelce brothers.
The Kelce brethren.
Yeah, but they didn't, start a podcast yet. Yeah.
Maybe if the Watt brothers had a podcast that they cared about, they would know what it's like, but they don't.
No. Anyways, he was crying. Relatable king.
No, like, get you a man who can do both, like tackle, but also have empathy. I love that.
Mm-hmm. It's not really empathy. He's like in his own feelings.
Yeah, it's not the right word.
It's just emotion.
It's like, yeah, emotional intelligence. How about that? Maturity when it comes to sharing, being vulnerable.
Yeah, love it.
Things of that nature.
Beautiful. Are you ready for our fourth story?
Are you?
I don't think I am because I need to let you know that the fourth story and the latter half of the show and the show entirely is brought to you by ByHeart, which is a company that we've been talking about a lot here at The Toast. It is an infant nutrition company built from the ground up to deliver real innovation on behalf of babies and parents. Their mission is simple: to make the best formula in the world. So what I love about ByHeart is that they always use whole milk, organic, grass-fed whole milk, never skim. And that's a core tenet of their brand, is that they never skim. But let's talk about organic. Check. Grass-fed, love. Whole milk, of course, because we're not skimming.
No, I am all like up to date on Jackie's like very high bar of needs when it comes to her ingredients, because I just placed a big grocery order for our trip and I was like, what do I get? And she's like, no, this milk will not do.
This milk will
these
not
eggs. Off with these eggs. So I'm aware, and ByHeart is kind of doing the most.
Yeah, ByHeart is doing the most. And I love this motto of never skimming, because of course, I think all of us as parents, we never skim when it comes to our little ones. I mean, look at me making everything but the bagel
from scratch
bread so that they'll have the best wares. But also, I think that we should take this motto into our personal lives as mamas too, and not skim on ourselves. And I feel like that's something that I've really been leaning into now in ways that I cannot skim on myself, even if it's just hitting my activity, like making the time to hit my activity goal for the day. Not gonna get off my grind, gonna take the time for myself, gonna take a bath perhaps.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like so many like moms like spend all day giving their kids everything, the best of the best, and by the time it's time for their dinner, they're like eating a Big Mac in the back of the car. It's like not a priority. But I think that energy needs to be channeled towards thyself too, because you deserve it. Good enough for ye and thee.
100%. So when it comes to the bebes, I don't skim in terms of my cookware. I switched to all non-toxic cookware. And of course, we do organic grass-fed for everything, just like ByHeart's ingredients. And then again, never skimming when it comes to, I need my mama's book club time.
Yep.
Mama's reading time.
Yep.
Mama's podcasting with the swirly time.
Which definitely I can understand how, it takes up a lot of time. But I think podcasting is good for your mental health.
I agree. Like, this is my me time.
No, and sometimes you like go into a podcasting session like in a mood for whatever reason. Like you're on your period, somebody pissed you off, like you're fighting with someone. And the way after you podcast, like you're a completely different person. Like you're no longer upset about those things. You've talked about 500 things since then.
And I also feel like that's true for the listeners too. You can turn something on when you're in a mood and come out of it just feeling better and with a little distance from whatever situation.
Yes, actually, somebody left the sweetest comment on our on our YouTube yesterday, and they were like, my friend told me about this podcast. This is the second day in a row I've listened to it, and like the way my spirits have been just lifted both days, and I think it's because of this podcast. Like, thanks. Can't wait to keep listening. And I said, thank you, sir. It was a boy.
Male toaster, MT.
Obsessed.
And
so I think that's really like kind of, to use my word, a core tenet of the By Heart brand.
Core tenet of the By Heart brand, as is like digestion, good digestion. I've been focusing a lot on gut health, and their infant formula is great for baby's digestion. So across the board, it is a great product with great values, and that is encouraging just great things for you, yourself, and Bebe.
Yeah.
If you are curious about By Heart, you can redeem your welcome offer at byheart.com/podcast with code TOAST20 for a limited time. Additional terms and conditions apply. That is code TOAST20.
Can I ask a question just as like a layperson who like doesn't understand all these things? Like what is like organic grass-fed? Like what are the benefits? Like why is it better?
So organic, as we all know, just great, less chemicals, et cetera, et cetera. But then grass-fed, I actually learned this from Bobby from Flav City. Like cows, those cows who the dairy is coming from, they are fed grass as opposed to grain, which is better for their digestion, which is better for the overall product.
It's giving food pyramid.
It is giving food impairment. And then, of course, whole milk has all of the fats that baby needs and not taking away from any of that, not skimming on any of that. That is what skim milk is. So it's just a great product.
Right. Whole milk is full of healthy fats like naturally occurring MFGM, which play an important role in baby brain development and growth. That's like kind of major. It's not a small thing.
No small thing.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
So if one is curious about By Heart infant formula, wants to try it or just like learn more, where would one do that?
Yes, thank you for asking. You can redeem your welcome offer at byheart.com/podcast with code TOAST20 for a limited time. Additional terms and conditions do apply, but the code is TOAST20.
And how do you spell By Heart?
BYHEART.
Great. Thank you, By Heart, for sponsoring this episode. And the next story, which is
also some Bebe adjacent news, because pregnant Ashanti, it turns out that she and Nelly have been secretly married for 6 months. So Ashanti is pregnant, and her and Nelly secretly married in December in St. Louis, Missouri, his hometown, TMZ has reported on Wednesday. They are expecting their first child together, and now they are wedded. So they had announced in April that they were engaged, and then she confirmed her pregnancy after months of speculation, which was all very exciting, but it turns out they are already married. And also, I didn't realize that they were together at the moment.
Oh my God, yes. People are obsessed. One, because it's kind of like a culmination of millennial childhood, like pop culture. It's getting hot in here. And then like Queen Ashanti, like it's giving prom king and queen.
100%.
It's giving America's sweethearts. I know everybody keeps making fun of me for saying that too much, but like it is. And so for that reason, it's like so cute and pajam, but also the way they're just sort of like moving happily in silence. And like things like this are just, they're not sharing, they're not being thirsty. Like they're just living happily, like, and in such a traditional way. People are obsessed, and like I totally get it.
No, totally. And they dated for 10 years in the early 2000s.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. They broke up in 2013, and then they got back together. They were spotted together in like 2023. So like 10 years later.
No, it's literally the cutest thing.
No, it's the cutest thing. And he has 2 kids, and then he also adopted his sister's children because she passed away in 2005. So it's just like a big, beautiful family.
Oh my God, I literally have chills.
Right?
Wait, 2005. How old is Nelly?
That's a great question. Yeah, his 2 kids are grown. One of them is like 30 years old.
He's 49. Wow, he's almost 50.
Very exciting.
I love these two. Like to me, Ashanti like her performance in John Tucker Must Die was so convincing. Like to me, she will and always will be like a high school cheerleader, right? And so it's just nice that she kind of ended up with the quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there are a couple couples like this where it's like, I don't realize that they are together. Like they're doing the darn thing.
Ready? Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Okay, they are that couple, but I know that. I feel like that's just seared into my brain. I've always
But that's
known
another
that.
one where people like die for it. They don't think about them all the time. But because they were like at, teenage heartthrobs at the same time, and also the sheer fact that they got married and have been together as long as they have, and they're like kind of, I don't want to jinx them, but like bulletproof. It's such an underrated thing, and especially in Hollywood, that we don't talk about enough. And the fact that like they were both, Cruel Intentions, Not Another Teen Movie, like perfect.
Also, it's like Chili from TLC and Matthew Lawrence.
Yes. But that one is a little bit more. Okay, so when those two got together, people died because it was like very millennial coded, Boy Meets World, like perfect. But theirs is like not as perfect as like Ashanti and Nelly and Freddie Prinze Jr. because there's all that drama with Matthew Lawrence's ex-wife, Cheryl from Dancing with the Stars. Like she makes TikToks like pretty much 24/7 about her ex-husband. I think he cheated on her. With his now wife, which a lot of people move on from. Like we like ship this relationship, but Cheryl, of course, has not.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So that one for me like isn't as perfect. Not to be nitpicky.
No, but still, it's really nice. So Mazel Tov to the happy couple.
No, it's so cute. Like I'm obsessed with them getting married in their hometown. These two could be thirsty, and like everyone would die for it. Like yeah. But the fact that they're just so low key about it makes me like
it's so real.
Even more. It's so real.
Yeah.
And I remember a couple of years ago, I forget where it was, Nelly performed for the first time in a long time, and he was interviewed about it, and he was so grateful. I think he's had like real highs and lows in his career because obviously that song like launched him, and that's not sustainable, that level of like viral success. And I remember it was like either it was an anniversary of something, of either R&B or his song, and he had this like resurgence moment, and he was asked about it a lot, and he was so grateful and so humble and so down to earth. I remember like immediately, like I always liked his music, but I remember liking him as a person after that. So now I just root for him.
Yeah, agreed. And also he's on Cruise, which was like the biggest song. You make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
Speaking of, this was
like there was literally, that must be like top 5 like songs, especially country songs of the last 50 years.
No, and what's so crazy is that, and another one that comes to mind is Meant to Be BB Rex, the Florida Georgia Line. Like how both of them are Florida Georgia Line, and Florida Georgia Line is no longer together. And I meant to ask you to make this a story a couple of weeks ago, and I totally forgot. They both went on the same podcast. I think it was a music festival that they were both at, and like you had to stop by this one booth. And the person like finally was asking the questions like we all wanted to hear, and they both have polar opposite descriptions of how the things went down. Like according to Brian, who was the less front-facing one, he wrote a lot of the music. I think he did most of the work like behind the scenes. He said that the two of them agreed to never do solo projects while they were actively promoting a group project. They had like strict rules in place, which I think is smart if you're in some sort of group because it can get weird. And the other one, Tyler, like showed up one day, didn't tell, Brian had no idea, he saw on TV that the other one was performing a song, I think it was at Biden's inauguration. Is that right? Does that make sense timeline-wise? And not only had he not told him that about a solo project, but also I think the two of them had differing political like beliefs, and they had also agreed to not get into it, publicly when it came to politics. But then the other guy,
he performed with Tim McGraw and Garth Brooks in Representing Country Music on Inauguration Day. Yes.
So, but then the other guy, like seriously, had a completely different. Tyler had a completely different like timeline of events and didn't even mention. He basically was just like, we really grew apart, and it was like not, bad blood, and I think I was reading the comments like. Pretty much no one was believing Tyler.
No, it sounds like what Tyler said is the vague way of saying what Brian said. So I think what Brian said actually happened, and then if you want to give like a nice spin to it, we grew apart. Yeah, politics, like we can't agree, and that's that on that. Wow, I didn't realize it was political.
No, there have been rumors for a long time that it was political, that the two of them just really couldn't agree politically, especially their wives, and it got to a place where it was like so bad. But I always thought that was like kind of a dramatic, like, You're literally the biggest duo of all time, like we were just saying. Some of the biggest hits in country, but also just in music in the last 20 years. You don't just give that up because you disagree with politics. Like you can learn to put that aside. You can not talk about it.
No, but if one of you like wants to start making the work political and the other one like vehemently disagrees, like yeah, you can't, like what do you do from there?
adding that in, which I hadn't known that part of the story until Brian went on this podcast and shared it. Now it added a little bit more color, and now I kind of get it. But what a shame. What a duo.
Yeah.
You know, I think Dan and Shay are really grateful to that because that was super helpful to them.
Yeah. But Dan and Shay like have a different vibe going on.
Yes, but they were just always competing for like duo of the year at the ACMs with Florida Georgia Line.
And for me, like it's always going to be Maddie and Tay.
I know.
And that's where I am.
For me, it's always going to be Jackson Claude.
Or, you know, Brothers Osborne. We love a sibling duo.
It's true.
So, I don't know how we got here. Nelly. Mazel tov to Nelly.
Mazel tov to Nelly.
Are you ready for our fifth and final story? Mm-hmm. It's a little more Kevin Costner news because he's making the rounds. And just like Travis Kelce, a lot of headlines about him. This is the one that resonated with me today. You won't be surprised.
Is it about Jewel?
No.
Oh, because he's also acknowledging like dating Jewel.
Yeah, no. He claims that Princess Diana fancied him, according to Prince William. So Kevin Costner learned that the late Princess Diana kind of had a crush on him through her son, William. The actor met Diana to discuss potentially co-starring in a never-made sequel to his 1992 film, The Bodyguard, another movie that I've not seen. That's like, have you seen it?
No,
I mean, I was like born that year, so when would I have watched it?
Yeah, and but it's so like, crazy.
It's mature, right?
Oh, is it like sexy?
I think it's sexy.
Well, first of all, there's so many cultural moments from that. Obviously, I think it was, we know Kevin Costner like now, and we know him as like kind of like a classic older actor, but he was at a time like a heartthrob from this film. Like this was his biggest movie. Whitney Houston is in it. It's like one of her only acting credits, and it's where it was I Will Always Love You was a part of the soundtrack, like made that song huge. There's so many things like in culture now that stem from that.
100%. That's why
I've never seen it.
Yeah, no, I've never seen it. So this is what he said. He did a People magazine. I think he's on the cover of People this week. About 15 years later, I ultimately had a very sweet conversation with Prince William. I happened to be over in England and got this message that the prince would love to talk to me. Costner said he met up with Prince William, now 41, in a room by themselves with chairs stacked up around them. He said there was nobody else. We sat down and shook hands, and the first line out of his mouth was, "You know, my mom kind of fancied you." Costner pointed at himself in disbelief that Diana could have feelings for him, saying sarcastically, "No, I know." Although Costner and William talked for a half hour, the actor will never ever say what they discussed. He noted it was a very sweet thing. We just chatted and we both broke away, and we never became pen pals or did anything like that. But I've had such fond memories of who he was, how I was approached, and what we talked about.
Okay, I mean, it's like not the craziest thing because when you think like about the timeline, like he was the bodyguard, like he was the hottest thing in America for sure. So Diana, obviously a woman of taste, like I get it. But it is like very cool that, you know, Prince William can just like hear someone's in London, just call him up, you know, like
yeah, that's what I'm saying audience. About tailored, you know. Yeah. Especially like if Charlotte is a Swiftie, which odds are she is.
Well, so I feel like when Taylor was dating Joe, Joe is totally like, what's the opposite of a monarchist?
An anarchist?
An abolitionist, right? Where you want to abolish the monarchy. Is that it? Yeah. Like he's totally like a radical abolitionist. And Taylor probably when they were together was like, you think what your partner thinks. Like he's telling you, and it's his country. But then I think like once she got out of the relationship, she could like see clearly and being like, no, the royals are everything. And I think she's definitely at this very moment having a private audience, like performing Shake It Off with Prince Charlotte for sure.
100%. And Louis in the corner like, shake it off, shake it off.
No, by the way, them being in a box like is really not the craziest thing.
Yeah.
I would love to know. I guess we'll see, but.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We shall see.
Fabulous.
Very fabulous. So Kevin Costner and Princess Diana, what could have been?
Kevin Costner is a chatty Cathy these days.
Yeah, I think he's got that project coming out, his Civil War movie, and I do, based on the vibe I'm getting, I think he put his whole pussy in it. Maybe financially too, and so he's giving away these tidbits. He said he's never told that story before, like out of respect for William and their conversation, but I think so much time has passed it doesn't matter.
And it's not bad. It doesn't make anyone look bad. Like, it's a good story.
He's going for the nuggets that are going to grab headlines because he's got a lot riding on this Civil War movie, is the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, no. He has gold bars in the safe that he's pulling out for, because he's been saving them for a rainy day, and it is currently raining.
Yeah, so Horizon is his new project. It's a Civil War project. That's what I've gleaned. I actually haven't watched... Like, I've studied Civil War a lot in college, but I guess not a lot of content is made about it. Present day.
But him like financing his own project. I'm currently watching Entourage, and I'm like at the point where they like decide to finance Medellin for some reason, and it turns out to be like the biggest piece of shit, and it ruins Vinny's career. And like now he's literally like begging for roles. No studios will meet with him. He's completely broke, living with his brother. I'm obsessed with this part of it. So whose ever idea it was, like, thank you, because the first couple of seasons where he's really high in demand and he's a movie star, he's about to be like Leo, and he's such a terrible businessman. He's such a bad actor. I'm like, what? And so when they're filming Medellin, I'm like, you know what? Thank you. Like he needed to be humbled so desperately. Like and I was almost gonna stop watching it because it was getting like a little repetitive and stupid. But then I forgot that there was like this whole season where he's an actual loser, and I hate him so much. I love this part of the show, and everyone else around him is kind of killing it. Like he starts his own management group, and he's getting other clients. Johnny's on that very successful sitcom. Ari gets tapped to be the studio head, but builds his own. He decides to like, take his agency to the next level. Everyone around him is killing it. Like literally Vinny's at home having breakfast by himself because like everybody else has a job. Like even Turtle. Obsessed. Turt starts working for Johnny as his assistant.
Really, Turt?
Really, Turt.
You're Turt.
I am obsessed.
I love that for you. I'm happy for you.
Also to say, like, nobody in Hollywood should be financing their own projects. Like, that's not your job. You're just the star. But that's what happens. They for years and years and years, everyone around them tells them that they're the best and the brightest.
If you make a series of $100 million movies, then it's like, wait, if I find it, like, that's in $100 million payday, not a 10 mil for the role, like, which is a lot too, if you even get that. So yeah, but you start to think, why wouldn't it hit 100 mil again? I'm in it.
Yeah,
no,
right. That's what you would think.
I'm not saying you're right to do that. I'm just saying,
like the $100 million coming from Kevin Costner versus $100 million coming from MGM. Like the MGM $100 million is worth $500 million. Like you're financing it, but like who else? Like it's like, not that anyone's asking me to. I will never finance my own film after watching Entourage.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's gonna be tough because there was a lot of interest
offers. Yeah. It's not going to happen. What?
I have something funny to say. I'll say it after.
I'm so excited. What is it?
It's about you.
Okay. Yeah. So that is the show. Those are the Fast Five. Just a quick reminder. New vlog just dropped on Patreon, patreon.com/thetoast. Our live shows start next week. We have some tickets. It's thetoastpodcast.com/tour. West Hampton Beach, Long Island, and of course, New York City at the Beacon Theater. Our merch is, orders are starting to be processed, but we have a couple of pieces left. So there is a little bit of inventory if you go to shoptoastmerch.com. Our summer collection just dropped. The tote bags, crew necks, sweatpants are still available. So check that out. I think that's it, right?
And that's all she wrote.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the Toast and Melania Morning Show, where we deliver the Fast Five stories you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We are also available as podcasts and podcasts can be found. So Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iRadio, Castbox, all the places where we visit podcasts. Find us at Toast. Leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, about how stunning, about how wickedly talented we are. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and we'll see you tomorrow for a celebration. It's Viernes.
It's Viernes. Te amo. Adios.